Reversion and renewal in all human areas. New profound knowledge. New and more profound knowledge. Thus saith the Lord. The time draws near in which the spiritual revelations will disclose to mankind the shining path to reach and know the mysteries which are concealed in the bosom of creation. The light of my spirit will reveal to you the manner of obtaining the true science, which will permit man to be recognized and obeyed by the creatures that surround you, and by the elements of creation, thus fulfilling in this way my will, that man would be Lord on the earth. But that will take place when the spirit of man, illuminated by its conscience, will exercise its power and its light over the weaknesses of the flesh. The day when men will understand the importance of the Spirit is near. For many men, believing, do not believe, and others seeing, do not see. Yet when they touch the truth, they will recognize that it would be childish, unfair, and senseless to continue sustaining a being that belongs to another life with the fruits of this world. Then they shall seek the light in their religions, and in their anguish and anxiety to find the truth, they shall go about abolishing what is false in their doctrines, and destroying all that is superficial and external in their various cults, until they discover the divine essence. Mankind will certainly get tired of sowing hatred, violence, and egotism. Each seed of hatred that they sow will multiply against them in such a way that their strength will not be enough to gather its harvest. This result, unforeseen and superior to their human power, will detain them in their frenzied and senseless journey. Afterward, I will perform a miracle in each heart by allowing charity to emanate where there was only egotism. Men will again attribute to themselves all perfection, knowledge, and justice. They will remember that Jesus said, "The leaf of a tree does not move without the Father's will." Because today, according to the feeling of the world, the leaf of a tree, all beings and the stars move by chance. When my voice is heard by humanity in spiritual form, men shall feel the vibration of something that has always been inside them, but without the power to freely manifest itself. It will be the Spirit, animated by the voice of its Lord, that rises up to answer my call. Then a new era shall begin on earth, for you shall cease to see life from below, and begin to see it, to know and enjoy it, from the heights of your spiritual elevation. When it is no longer the mind that leads the spirit in observing or understanding science, but the spirit that elevates and guides the mind, men will discover things that are unfathomable to them now, but which are, in fact, destined to be revealed when men have spiritualized their intelligence. I have told you that the moment will come when the light shall shine from everywhere, in all lands and all continents. That light will shine according to the spiritual preparation of man, and through it a new and more accurate idea of creation will be formed, a new stage of spiritual evolution. When men come to think universally of love, each person will then try to perfect themselves, to comply, and to serve others better. All fear of punishment will be unnecessary. Man will not comply from fear, but from conviction. It is then that humanity will have evolved spiritually and in his intelligence. When my seed has sprouted in the hearts of the people that make up humanity, the life of every human will undergo a complete change. How big the change will be, which they will show in their human life, as well as their spiritual worship towards God, when you compare the state of living, believing, worshipping, fighting, and thinking of the humans from earlier times with the ones who live spiritualism. From that time of fanaticism, idolatry, materialization, and absurd faith dogmas, no stone will remain atop the other. All errors that your ancestors and you yourselves will bequeath to the following generations will be removed. Everything that does not carry any essence of good and truth within itself will not persist, but everything good that you inherited, they will preserve. That doctrine, expounded in a more spiritual form than in past times, shall have to struggle between men, peoples, religions, and sects to open a passageway and establish itself. Yet when the time of confusion has passed, the peace shall come to men, and they will enjoy finding in my word the contents it has always held. The concept of my divinity, of the spiritual life, and of the purpose of your existence shall begin to follow the true path. For each man shall be a good interpreter of what has been told him in parable and in a figurative sense by your master, and by his envoys and prophets. That language was understood only in part by men. It was the lesson assigned to them according to their mental and spiritual capacity. But they, wishing to know all, became confused, giving it material interpretations to what can only be analyzed in spiritual form. Instruction through human envoys of God. I have promised to send the great spirits of light to live among you. They await only the moment to come to earth, to be made flesh and fulfill a great mission of restoration. What will you need to teach these beings when they come to inhabit this world? Nothing. Truly, I tell you, for they shall come to teach, not to learn. You shall marvel to hear them speaking, even in childhood, of profound teachings, sustaining conversations with the men of science and the theologians, startling the aged with their experience, and counseling the children and the young toward the good path. Blessed shall be the home that receives one of these spirits in its bosom, and how grave shall be the changes against those who try to impede the fulfillment of the missions of my envoys. I tell you again, that there shall be no lack in the world of men bearing great light to illuminate your path and sow your lives with love. Humanity has always had the presence of these men on earth, and the time nears when great legions of these spirits of great light come to the earth to destroy the false world you have created, and to erect a new one, where men breathe peace and truth reigns. They shall suffer greatly caused by the evil of men, but that will be nothing new, for none of the envoys of God have escaped persecution, mockery, and offenses. They shall have to come to the world and dwell in it, for their presence is necessary on earth. They shall come, calling with love to the heart of humanity. Their word, impregnated with the justice of the Father, shall touch the pride and arrogance of all who have exchanged the vestments of humility of the Spirit for the robes of vanity, pride, false power, and false greatness. Those shall be the first to stand pointing with a finger, trembling from rage at my envoys. But this shall mean merely that in each trial to which my envoys are submitted, these can give great testimony of the truth they have brought to the world. You do not know in what walks of human life they will appear, but I tell you that some shall appear in the bosom of the great religions. They will struggle for the unification and spiritual harmony of all men. Others shall arise from among the men of science, to show with the fruit of their inspirations that the true purpose of science is the spiritual perfection of man, and not his misery and destruction. And so, in every walk of life, my servants shall appear bearing my law in their hearts, and testifying in word and deed to what I have come to speak to you of in this era.